Hello guys, I'm back again, and now in this video we are gonna see how to build a table of content. So in our previous video we format all our headings and subheadings. So I finished doing it for this document. As you can see, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and within the chapters all the subheadings and subheading within subheadings. So the table of content, you build it using the Word commands. It's not something that you build it manually. In terms of the location, well, it's gonna be located before your first chapter. My first chapter is the introduction, so I'm gonna make some space. So I'm gonna go here at the beginning of this line, and I'm gonna insert a page break. So this has been moved down, and now I have an empty blank page where I'm gonna insert my table of content. So I'm gonna go home. This is I'm gonna make sure that I am there at the left, and I'm gonna write table of contents. I'm gonna highlight this, and I'm gonna make it bold, and I'm gonna make it quite big, maybe a little bit more, 20, and then I press enter. So the first thing you need to do is to highlight this line, go to reference, to insert, and you bookmark this line as table of content. You just name it TOC. The reason you do that is for your Kindle book identify this line as your table of content. And so you highlight, you name TOC, and you add. So now Kindle, it will identify on your book this line as your table of content. Now we are gonna insert the table of content. So it may slightly vary where it is, where is the commands according to your Word version, but you go to reference, and then you go to table of contents, and then you click here, insert table of content, and this new window will appear. So the first thing that you need to do is to unclick show page numbers. Kindle doesn't identify page numbers on your Word document, so there is don't include page numbers on your Word document because they won't be identified. And the other thing, the second thing that you need to make sure is that this box here is click. So all your headings and subheadings are hyperlinked. There is a hyperlink. That means I'm not sure if you ever read a book in a Kindle device, but basically when you click on top of the heading, what is labeled as a heading 1, that as soon as you click that, the book takes you straight to that section. So you need to those hyperlinks need to be included on your Word document. It's something that you need to do. You need to format it here at this stage. And then the third thing to consider is how many levels you want to show on your table of contents. So do you want to show 3 levels? So anything that is labeled as heading 1, that means your main chapter. Heading 2, a subchapter included within the main chapter, and then subheadings included within subchapters. It's up to you. I always show 2. I don't include more than 2. I don't include 4, 3, because otherwise I consider that your table of content will look too crowded, too complex, and don't remember that the readers, and the same as you do when you go and check a book, one of the first things you do is to check the table of content to assess if the content of the book is gonna match your expectations. So if there is too many headings, it gets confused, it's too complex. So I tend to leave 1, 2, so bearing this in mind, is very important how you name those chapters and subchapters, so to provide a good idea to your readers of the content of your book. We need to do a couple of more things before building the table of contents. So we are going to need to go here to this command, modify, and TOC1 is anything labeled as heading 1, and we need to make some modifications. So just make sure that you are on top of our TOC1 and click modify, and you can increase the size of that of the heading 1. I tend to increase the size so it's very obvious that is referring to a main chapter, and you can make it bold as well. It looks nice. And then but this is the important section. You need to click to format and then go to paragraph, and you need to make sure that the alignment is left, that is not justified, otherwise it will appear in the center of the page. You don't want that. You want that is justified to the left. And the other thing that you need to make sure that anything that is labeled as heading 1, there is not indentation, that is justified to the left. So in special it has to say none. So I think the default sometimes is first line. So make sure in special says none, and there is not indentation, it's 0, and the alignment is left. And then you click OK, and you click OK. That's for your headings. Now we are gonna need to do some formatting for the heading 2. So you just go on top of TOC2, that is anything that is labeled as heading 2, and go to modify. And my headings ones were with size 14. I'm gonna leave this slightly smaller, so I make it obvious that is referring to a heading 2. I'm not gonna make it bold. I'm just gonna leave everything that is labels as a main chapter bold. And again, this is important section. You need to go to format, paragraph. Make sure the alignment is left, not justified, or no right, center. Otherwise, it will appear at the center of your page. And you want an indentation. You want that the heading 2 appears a little bit indented compared to the heading 1. So you make it very obvious that it's a subchapter within a main chapter. Again, here in special has to say known. You can increase the indentation if you want, but 0.17, the default, is a nice indentation. And so we make sure that it's left, there is an indentation, in special says known, and then we click OK, and then OK. And then we are back here and we click OK again. So this is now showing you how it's gonna appear. So anything labeled as heading 1 is gonna be with bold, the font is gonna be higher compared to heading 2. The heading 2 is gonna be indented, and the font is gonna be smaller size. For some reason or another one, this box gets clicked again. That happens sometimes, so make sure there is no page number shown, and this one has to be clicked, and I have shown 2 levels, and that's it. So you click OK, and then by miraculous, I'm not saying that word correctly, you have a table on content for your book. It's really cool. As you can see, your heading ones are on bold, and your heading 2s are indented and slightly smaller, and I'm not including a heading 3, otherwise it's too complex and fantastic. So if once you create a table of content, it doesn't mean that you cannot make any modifications. You can, if you forgot to, you want to include a subheading within a chapter or even a new chapter, the only thing you need to do, well, you go to the section where you want to include a subheading, and imagine that here within my chapter 1 I want to include something to talk about don't eat sugar. That's what you need to do if you don't want to get fatty. So basically you, again, this is a subheading, I highlight that, I'm going to home, this is it's gonna be labeled as a heading 2. As you can see, this subchapter now is included within chapter 1. I'm happy with that, but now I need to make sure that my table of content include that heading. So you go back to your table of content, right? And you need to be able to update your table of content. You basically need to click on top of the table of content so everything gets highlighted. You then right click with your mouse and you click on update fill, and you can see what happens. This subheading said don't eat sugar is included now in your chapter 1. There is not, I don't think there is anything else about the table of content. The most important thing is about that they are hyperlinked. So when someone bought your book in the Kindle device, when they click in a chapter or a subheading, take them straight to that section. And that's it. I think I hope you are doing well, you are progressing well with your formatting. Any question you have, include them on the group. As you can see, there is nothing complex about the formatting. You probably know a lot about them already if you are an expert or you have some expertise on working in Word documents. In our next video we are gonna talk about certain formats that they don't convert well into Kindle, such as pictures or listings, bullet points, but there is a way to get around to them. So great, I'll leave you to it, and happy building table of content. I talk to you in the next video.